Hello and welcome to Mountain Aromatics. I wanted to say I hope all of you are taking care and doing your due diligence with hand washing, sanitizing, all of that kind of stuff in this incredibly stressful, unpredictable, uneasy time. So I have a couple of things in mind that I want to talk about today. The first thing I want to talk about, some of you I'm sure already know, but I'm just surprised at the number of people I talk to who don't have a clear understanding, so I'm just going to go over it. Hand washing. So the science behind the hand washing is not about just the water. What it is about is two things. The first thing is you get your hands wet and you put soap, either a bar of soap, use a bar of soap, or use the pump and use a liquid soap. Either way, the saponification of rubbing your hands together, or to be clear, the saponification of the fat that is in the soap, the virus and bacteria and grime as well, just junk on your hands, sticks to the fat molecules. It's the first thing that's important. So making sure you get in between your fingers, hands, and then this motion like this to get your under the fingernails, that kind of stuff. That type of thing. So if you feel like the soap that you're using isn't like thick enough, or is too watery thin and doesn't give good foam, then try to find something that does. Most of them do, but the point of it is that the foaming action, the fat, that's what all of the virus and bacteria, that kind of stuff, sticks to. So you got it sticking to the fat, and then under the water you're rinsing, and that rinses the fat and the virus and the junk away. Okay, that's the first step. That takes most of it away. But there's a whole second part to the science behind hand washing, and that is the drying the hands. And I don't mean air drying. You want to use a towel, or actually at this time using a one-time use, like the paper towels that are now, like, it's not a whole paper towel, but it can cut in half and use like a half sheet, using that kind of thing to dry your hands off with. But it's not the drying part, it's that wiping away with that towel or paper towel. That's the second part that takes the rest of the stuff off and away, and you take that paper towel and you throw it away. So that's when you hear about hand washing, the science behind it is those two things. So whenever possible, that is what you want to do. Because the difference, I hear you now, well, what's the difference between that and using a hand sanitizer? So think about it. With that hand sanitizer, yes, there's 70% alcohol in there. And yes, it does kill most of the viruses and that kind of stuff, but you're not wiping your hands off or rinsing your hands, so all of the grime and the stuff still stays on your hands. So I'm not saying hand sanitizer does not work. It does. It does. But that's your second line of defense. That's what you want to do when you're out and about and you need to wash your hands but you can't. Okay, use hand sanitizer. It's going to do a great job. It's just when you get home or when you get to a place where you can wash your hands, you want to do that. So that is a clearer, better understanding of why they say hand washing and what washing our hands truly does and the difference between hand sanitizer. So that's the first thing. Next thing I wanted to talk about is taking care of yourself. There are many things you do. I know a lot of you are hunkered down in your homes and doing some soothing things. So listening to calm music or whatever kind of music puts you in a good headspace. That, the other thing I found for me is, sometimes I'll do a room spray or whatever, but in these times I use a candle, like lighting a candle. For me, something about just the candle being lit and it's just there and it's a little flickering light with the aroma as well is very soothing for me. So that's what I have been doing lately, is burning candles. My favorite candle for the last number of months has been Egyptian jasmine and sandalwood vanilla by Roxana Cooper. She's down in Houston. Some of you may know her, but she sent me a candle for Christmas. It lasts forever. I don't know what she did, and she's been doing candles for a while, and she actually does bar soaps as well. So I'm sure she would probably sell them to you. But that candle just lasts and lasts and lasts and lasts, and it fills up my basement. You guys know I live in a basement, but it fills up my basement, and I love it. And just goes for hours and hours. So shout out to you, and happy birthday, Roxana Cooper. I love you. Oh my God. Next thing you can do is take that candle, if you have the ability, the liberty, and have a bathtub to take a bath. I don't. Oh, it used to be one of my all-time favorite things to do. Literally, I would take a minimum of 5 baths a week. I loved taking a bath. And where I live and have lived for the last 5 years, I don't have one. So I have not. So, but that's something that you could do. Take your candle with you, just have downtime. You could add bath salts to it. Remember, bath salts, if they're just bath salts, can be a little bit drying. So you want to put a little bit of body oil in the bath with you if you're going to use bath salts. That way when you get out of the bath, your skin is not kind of dry, on the dry side. Or just put lotion on afterwards, whatever. Just trying to give you some ideas. So that leads me to, in the bath or room diffusers, that type of stuff, what aromas are calming. So here's where we can get a little technical because a lot of you know stuff. So things with linalool in it. So studies have shown it's like with lavender. Oh, lavender's relaxing. Lavender helps me relax. And I spray lavender spray on my bed sheets and on my pillow and that kind of stuff. Well, research shows it's the linalool in the lavender that is the relaxing molecule That's the molecule that helps you relax. So anything with linalool. So it's so funny. I read some research yesterday. Swear to God, oh, I read research all the time, but I swear, yesterday I read this three combination is really amazing, and I'm telling you, I I swear I have been using this three combination for more than 25 years. 25 years, and it is geranium, bergamot, and rose. Those three things together, I promise you, I've had a body care line for 15, 16, 17, like 17 years, and it was my first aroma that I used. It was geranium, bergamot, rose for my bath salts, for my body lotion, for my body wash, for everything. That's what I've used for years. And I really, back then, did not understand bergamot or understand geranium. I just was like, oh my God, these smell good, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't really realize or know anything like in depth about them at all. Now I do. But how amazing that this research that just came out like 2 days ago showed those three in combination are an amazing, amazing relaxation property. So when I have, I've been doing aromatherapy diffusion for, good Lord, just, yeah, 25 years or so. That is my main go-to that I've always used. So great for a diffuser. So so that's for relaxation. For a number of you, you are going to be like, I need something that's grounding. I need something that's going to ground me. And it sounds so new agey, woo woo, whatever, but I'm telling you, it's true. The roots. So vetiver, and patchouli. I know you're going to say patchouli's not a root, it's a leaf. I know, I get it. So, but patchouli with vetiver, those two, because that patchouli has like this earthy, just ground, soil-like aroma. That with a vetiver is very, very, I mean, literally just those two together it will be awesome. And if you wanted to put, just to give it a tiny bit of lift, a couple of drops of bergamot essential oil with that, perfect. But that is something you can use for, again, like your room, your bath, or what, before you sleep, anything where you just don't feel grounded and you need something grounding. That is the best. It's those two in combination are amazing. One other one though that I'm thinking about is going to be, it's on the tip of my tongue and I'm having to look because I'm like, I don't know why I forgot the name. Cyprol, right? Yes, Cyprol. So sorry, I'm looking at something. Yes, Cyprol. Cyprol is a root, and it's from the papyrus. Remember, back in Egypt, they would take the papyrus, not the root, but like the top part, those stems, and they would take that, and that's what they would make the paper with. Well, and those things are in like huge clumps on the side of, like, I may be saying it wrong, but like riverbeds, or like kind of like rivers, but they'd be on the sides, and they'd be growing up in these big stalks. Well, at the bottom, the root part is the cyprol, and it's leathery, but it's very grounding. So you could add that as well. Gives kind of a leathery, very earthy for sure. It goes really, really well with your vetiver. So that could be another one that you use. Anyway, what I was going to say is just to teach you, those the papyrus, like stalks, whatever, they grow in these like big like things, and sometimes they can separate and just float down the river and kind of move. Very interesting. So a lot of sometimes they will just stay there or whatever, but sometimes they will shake loose and just boom, a big thing will float down the river, just so you know, and probably in the River Nile. But so that's what I just wanted to go over today. Just know that my heart goes out to all of the doctors and the nurses and the custodians and everyone who, the EMS workers, firefighters, all of the people who are on the front line, and that includes grocery store workers, like just, just wow. Like, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and we just thank you for your sacrifice. And all of those of you who I know, a number of you have lost your job. I had a few things that I was doing, and I lost all of them. So I no longer have income. Not that I had a lot to begin with, but the stuff that at least I had some, and now I don't. It was like 3 weeks ago that all of that went away for me. But this type of thing, this stuff, gives me sanity. It gives me something else to think about. It gives me something else to focus on, and it's therapeutic. So I will be putting out another video. It takes a long time for these to load, so it probably won't go up till tomorrow. The next one I do, hopefully this one will be going up today. But I love you. I care about you. Thank you so much for being here. So a couple of things. If you like this video, you can give me a thumbs up. And if you have questions or comments, or what essential oils make you happy, what different things do you do that help you relax, and what types of things are grounding for you, tell me in the comments below. And you'll just be sharing ideas with other people as well. And that'll help my video show up more for more people. The other thing you can do is you can support me on Patreon, and with that support on Patreon, I send out formulas. I also will send, it's like 3 different levels, and then for others I send out formulas, and we'll send you fragrance samples of my fragrances that I make to you, or accords, samples of accords. You just let me know what you want, and I send that to you with your support on Patreon. And yeah, that Patreon support will be going for like my living. So thank you. I appreciate it for all that you do, and those of you who are already supporting me, I love you. And I already sent out formulas to everybody yesterday or late last night, so you may not even see it till today. But anyway, thank you so much, and I will see you on the next Mountain Aromatics. Have a good day.